Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. The USC Trojans and Lincoln Riley continue to build just a phenomenal class in 2024, landing a commitment from three-star defensive lineman Dayvid Palepale from the state of Pennsylvania. A couple notes on him. One, cousins with Penn and Noah Sewell, so he's got some nice bloodlines. And two, this is just a massive recruiting win for Lincoln Riley. Not only getting a phenomenal player that he's rivaling Marquise Gallegos in terms of some of my favorite film to watch, but it's also just a massive recruiting victory for Lincoln Riley and the Trojans in the sense that you went up against. We saw them go to Texas and beat out Texas A&M for a bunch of kids. We saw them go to Florida and win Jason Zandamela, beating out Florida State, Florida, Miami. And now you're seeing Lincoln Riley go to Big Ten country, to the state of Pennsylvania, and beat out Michigan and Penn State for a high priority target for all three of these programs. You have to be just absolutely thrilled with not only the caliber of players that Lincoln Riley is bringing in, but the type of recruiting victories that he's having on the trail. Like this, we've talked about it a lot, but this is becoming a national brand. Once again, I should say, becoming a national brand, and they're going anywhere in the country and taking that top talent. Very, very exciting if you're a Trojans fan. Now, before we get into it, just want to say thank you to the USC fans. I always try to just say how much I appreciate you guys for rocking with the fellas. We've talked a ton of USC recruiting, trying to cover as many of the commitments as I can for you guys, and the support you guys have shown truly does mean a lot. So if you do enjoy the content, you like the updates, consider locking in, subscribing to the channel. Again, the community of USC fans that we've been able to build and talk to in the comment section has been absolutely awesome. So appreciate you guys. Let's get into Dayvid Palepale. And the main thing that I want to say before we get into the film is absolutely, it's dynamite. It's so fun to watch. You're seeing a lot of the haters on Twitter saying, oh, I can't wait to watch USC play on the road at Penn State or on the road at Michigan in the middle of November. They won't be able to handle it. With these kind of players, they're going to be just fine. I mean, Dayvid Palepale is about as Big Ten defensive lineman as it gets, but I think he brings a little extra element of it. And you look, 3-star rank in the offer sheet, not 3 stars. High priority for Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, Oklahoma. Some SEC schools are in the mix, and USC is able to win this. I want to get into the film because what you're going to see that in my mind is so impressive is a 6'3", 300-pound body with just some crazy athleticism and twitch off the line of scrimmage. Like, he's not just a space eater on the inside. This dude can get penetration. He can get it going in the pass rush. And I haven't really seen many defensive linemen as impressive as Dayvid Palepale. You're going to see him off this rep, burst and bend around this offensive tackle using his hands. He's 300 pounds. The burst off the line of scrimmage and then the flexibility and bend to beat the tackle, that's some next level stuff. And he's also versatile. Right now you see him playing right up over the center, winning with speed. And that's the thing. We'll pause it right there. Y'all can see I'm kind of excited about this kid. When he plays inside, like, these guards and centers do not have the athleticism to deal with him. Like, he is a very powerful kid for sure, but his feet and his twitch and his get off the line of scrimmage, very hard for some of these interior offensive linemen to deal with him. And then you're going to see him because you're seeing him play on the edge a lot too. And quite frankly, tackles have a hard time dealing with him. This is a guy that he can win both ways. He can win with power right through you, and he can win with speed around you as well. I just think, a phenomenal find for Coach Sean Nua. And again, the versatility on the defensive line is something that I really have began to covet for defensive line prospects. Guys you can move all around the line of scrimmage. You just see him standing up as a pass rusher and chasing it from the backside. Like, this is a 300-pound body chasing a play down from the backside. It truly incredible film. You're seeing standing up again. Very athletic. He's very explosive. And it's got to be just puts the tackle right on his butt there and then chases him down. This guy is just super exciting to get into. And you take a look at what this 2024 class is starting to become. There's not many, as we got to get rid of this advertising here. That's wild. There's not many holes in this 2024 class. right? You have two elite wide receivers, right? And Xavier Jordan and Ryan Pound. Your secondary room, this might be the best secondary class across the country, right? Two top 100 cornerbacks. Y'all know how I feel about a guy like Marquise Gallegos, and also someone shouted out Jarvis Boatwright as well. They just added Braylon Connolly. You also have a phenomenal offensive line group, right? A TT coming from California, and then you go in and get your crown jewel of your offensive line in Jason Zandamela from Clearwater Academy. This is you look at the position groups they need, right? Wide receiver, check. Offensive line, check. Secondary, big time check. They have a few linebackers that you like. They brought in two different playmaking tight ends. The last position that you're maybe trying to address is the defensive line. And getting a guy in Dayvid Palepale, you feel pretty good about. You have Cameron Fallon, who, again, going into SEC territory and taking out one of the better defensive linemen in the class. That's another impressive win. I would look for them to add one more defensive line. Whether it's on the inside, whether it's on the edge, I think they'd probably look for one more body. And again, what's the most impressive thing about this 2024 class is this is a top bona fide top 8 class. I believe On3 has him as the number 6 class overall with only 17 commitments in the boat, right? I'm going to throw out, and we've talked a lot about guys who are the potential targets, right? And we took a look at the official visitors, and we talked about guys like Taylor Tatum. We've talked about, we can pull it up right here, right? If this class can be special, you talk about a guy like Taylor Tatum coming to USC. The two St. John Bosco kids in Kingston, Viliamu Asa, or Peyton Woodard, getting them in the fold. I'm going to throw out a guy that we haven't talked about. He didn't take an official visit, largely because he's already been on campus multiple times. That's 5-star defensive lineman from Mater Dei, Aiden Breland. And it doesn't seem like this seems like a recruiting battle that USC can win. And you're looking at their defensive line prospects and targets. A lot of those guys are already committed. Aiden Breland's getting recruited by every program in the country. He's the number 6 nationally ranked player according to 24/7 Sports. Incredible athlete. I wouldn't be surprised if Sean Nua and Lincoln Riley really turn it up for a kid from Mater Dei. It seems like this is one that they can win, and he doesn't seem like he has like a lead, right? I think Oregon is considered a leader. I think Georgia and Miami are considered a leader, and you're going to go up against some big dogs when you go for the number 6 nationally ranked guy, the number 2 defensive lineman in the class. This, all of a sudden, with all the traction USC has, and maybe having one hole in their class being, hey, we need a third body on the defensive line. God, if they want to turn it up for Aiden Breland and kind of solidify an elite defensive line class in 2024, I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. So we'll see how it works out. Aiden Breland's recruitment doesn't seem nearly to be closed. So again, USC puts together a special season in 2023. That defensive line looks as good as I think it can look. Aiden Breland suddenly sees himself as a player that can go and dominate with a dominant USC defensive line. This is a one, in my opinion, to certainly watch. I'm not saying USC is going to land it, but man, it would be fun if they do. So wanted to shout out that. We've talked a lot of their targets. We'll close it out on that. Appreciate you guys rocking with the boys as usual. If you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We appreciate you guys, especially the USC fans, and we'll talk to y'all later.